Hola, bom dia, welcome to this week's video. The weather's still continuing to be poor, but we have managed to get some chores done, so watch along and see what we've been up to.
So, as a lot of you know, Ellierose had a bit of a flood last week when it rained really hard. Luckily enough, the last couple of days it's rained, but it's only been fairly light, and today it's quite dry. So what I'm going to do is clear the hallway out a bit, but the other thing that I want to do is fill the loft hatch. I aren't going to make it, I aren't going to fit an actual loft hatch, I'm just going to cover it, but there's some materials upstairs what I want down first. The reason I'm doing this is because we're going to have a little fire in here. I know it's near the door and what have you. I'm going to protect all that with some metal. Obviously the door will stay open. I'll put some protection over here so that it stops the chimney heat, and probably a piece either side of the doorway down here and here. Obviously I need to get all the cardboard out, moved away from the area, plastic pipes and such like. So my first job is going to be to put the plastic pipes in the van. They're actually tubing for electrical conduit, and then we'll get one or two other bits moved, probably out of the loft first. So what I've actually been saying was we'll have a look in the loft and see what's up there, what wants moving. I do know there's some of this blue boxing. Oh, it's quite a lot of wood. Not as much of the blue as I thought. The chimney looks okay. She has had a little leak from it, but not much. The main of Ellierose's leak has been from the back wall, where I think the land height is quite a lot higher than the back wall. So yeah, I'll just get up here and I'll show you. So I've just folded some sheet metal, just cover the wood trims around the doorways, all the way across at the top, and just where the fire is at the bottom. I think there's enough gap there to stop heat radiating onto this wood, but she's only having very small fires, and I shall come through a couple of times and check it. If it's getting hot, I do have some corrugated steel what I'll cut and make a tube all the way down, so it's like an insulated chimney, but I'd rather not do that if we can, because I want as much heat off a smallest amount of fire that we can get. As you've probably seen in the cupboard behind, or in the room behind, there's a lot of cardboard, so she's got all that to move. She's got a lot to move out here. I would do it, but I went for a COVID vaccine yesterday, and yeah, I don't feel too clever, so normally they don't affect me, but this one seems to have done. So hopefully I'll be better tomorrow and get on with a few more jobs.
So our lovely neighbour, the farmer next door, has just bought us these beautiful peppers. They're such a rich colour and they're really, really nice. 5 might be a little bit much for us, but I'm going to dice them and pop them in the freezer, so we've got them all winter to put into stews and soups.
So I'm just clearing the till room a bit because we've got a bit of a water leak. So I'm taking some of the electric tools out. As you can see, we've got quite a bit of a mess in here at the moment. But I've just noticed we've got this little friend. Try and zoom in a bit for you. Oop. He's having a nice nap in the corner of the tool room. Yeah, I'll leave him alone. Oh, I've frightened him off.
So this is what I've just come into. It's quite cold, so we're wrapped up in duvets, and Dottie's got herself involved as well. So it's the evening and it's about time to be feeding the goats and the chickens. And I realised I know a little bit of a trick that not as many people seem to know when it comes to hay. So most people tend to bring scissors or a pocket knife out. While I was working at an animal park a few years ago, I learned a little trick just in case you forget it. So I thought I'd show you guys because it might be helpful to anyone else who's got animals, getting animals, or just has a load of hay or straw in these kind of bales. I'm going to have to apologise for the darkness as it is kind of in this back area which is sheltered but has zero light. But I'll do my best to show you guys how to do it. Yeah, so set up the light from my phone so hopefully you guys can see a little bit better. All you need is another old piece of this. It's the exact same twine that they wrap around the hay bales to keep them together. You've just got to pull the bale. It's awkward to do. If you just push a little bit of pressure, you can stick your finger onto the twine on the piece of bale that you want. Then just pulling on it a little bit and using a back and forth sawing action, it'll pop open. There's 2 of them on each bale, so it's just a case of finding them and doing it again. It can be a little bit fiddly, and obviously, yeah, a pocket knife or a pair of scissors is tons easier. But not everyone carries a pocket knife, and not everyone has a pair of scissors handy. And just sometimes it's faster than running halfway across the field. So then it just pops open like that. And then you've got easy access to the entire leaf, to the entire bale and all the leaves in it. It's just something that I picked up, and it's been a massive lifesaver on the farm because the amount of times where you've forgotten your scissors and you really don't want to go running in, especially in the moment while it's really muddy and we've been about in our wellies. We don't really want to be running into the house in wellies full of mud. So I'm going to get the goats fed and the chickens fed, and that'll be it for the evening.
So Steve put the goats out about 10 minutes ago because they've been inside for 2 days.
What are you doing?
And it's just started to
Come on.
rain quite hard again, so he's having to bring them in.
Come here.
Go on in, Mabel.
Come on.
Very grey over Pennamacaw way. Are you coming, Dot Dot?
Come on.
Are we going in then? We're getting quite a lot of eggs still at the moment from our 3 chickens. They're all laying every day. I'm anticipating that that might change soon, and we've got quite a build-up of eggs. So I've been looking at how to preserve the eggs so that we can still use them during the winter months if the chickens stop laying. So at the moment this is what I've got left for now. So I'm going to freeze them. So apparently you can do that by, you have to scramble them, you can't do them whole. So obviously we can't poach or fry them, but they'll be great for baking. So we can scramble them, we can use them in baking, we can use them for omelettes. I think that should be enough. I don't know how many eggs I've got. Oops. That's a bit determined not to come out. So I'll just continue like that with the rest of the eggs. I've got a bowl at the side here which has got water in, because if you wash the shells well you can compost them, which is something else that I do. So I've popped them onto a baking sheet and now I'm just going to pop them in the freezer. Oh, that one looks like it's spilling out. Just try and prop it up a bit. That's it. Don't know how long that'll take, but... Okay, so that wasn't successful. I thought that the paper cases actually had like a wax coating on them and they didn't. So when I put them in the freezer, the cases started to open up, obviously because of the damp atmosphere and the egg inside the case. So I've popped them inside this little bucket so that I don't waste them. There's 10 eggs in there. They'll do for omelettes one night during the winter time. So that's how I'm going to freeze this batch. And then I'll have to either get some plastic buntings so that they'll pop out, or some little metal ones, individual ones. So I'll show you how that goes when I get either the plastic or the metal buntings. But for now, this is going in the freezer as it is. So this week I'm going to try my hand at some Portuguese olive oil biscuits. I've not done them before, so bear with me. So we've got 3 cups of flour. It just says flour, so I'm assuming it's plain flour. We'll soon find out. I think then you add the sugar. You make a hole in the centre and add the sugar, which is, how much sugar was it now? 2/3 of a cup of sugar, and the olive oil, which is half a cup of olive oil. So we'll add that. I'm just going to get a wooden spoon, Ellierose. I've no idea what these are going to turn out like or taste like. Well, I'm not I think that looks quite dry actually. But it says mix it with your hands, so let's give that a go, see what happens. It feels incredibly dry. I don't think that's gonna come together how it's supposed to. So I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil. And see if that helps. I've got to mention there's also 3 eggs in here as well. So I'm just going to roll them into balls. And then what I'll do when I've got all the balls on here is flatten them a little. I don't think this sheet's going to be big enough, Ellierose. So I'm just going to flatten these down a little bit. I'm guessing that they'll spread anyway once the heat of the oven gets to them. And then I've got, as well as the 3 eggs that went in, 1 egg yolk and a tablespoon of milk, and this is for the tops. Oh, that's quite a lot there. Just a little sprinkle of sugar on the tops. And then I'm just going to do the same with the big tray. Oops. It's made quite a big batch. Just hope they turn out right. Sprinkle of sugar. I didn't try any fancy shapes. I know Portuguese biscuits usually come in quite fancy shapes. But we'll just give the recipe a go first, and if it's successful then might give it a go next time at doing different shapes. So these are now ready for the oven. Actually, I'm just going to mop that little bit of egg up so it doesn't burn on. egg spill on that one, on that one. So the oven's set at 180 degrees. And I'm just going to get an idea of how long that takes. "10 to 12 minutes. So we'll have a look and see what they're like after 10 minutes. Okay, so I think they're about done. They've taken quite a bit longer than I expected. About 20 minutes, but that's probably down to the oven. I'm not used to it yet. So they don't really seem to have changed much in size or spread at all. So that's good to know for future, if they taste okay, of course. And I'm sure Steve will be happy to do a taste test. Four more to go, and another tray full underneath. But first of all, I'm just going to break one in half and see what it's like. It's tastes okay. It's a little bit soft inside, but I think that'll harden off when it cools.
So I've just been given this biscuit to test. Still quite warm. Quite nice but strange as well. They have a taste of olive oil, which, yeah, it's a bit strange for a biscuit, but
I actually couldn't taste the olive oil. Maybe I've just got used to it.
Yeah.
It's a good, bad.
Oh, good.
So that's it for this week. Thank you for watching. Thank you to all our subscribers who have followed us this far on our journey. And we've also encountered quite a few new subscribers over the last couple of weeks. So thank you to you as well for joining us. So we'll see you on the next video. Bye.